Good morning and welcome to P&B Sports Show. I'm Arako Tom. Today we've got three big stories from the basketball world to unpack. First, the Dallas Mavericks have fired general manager Nico Harrison after a turbulent stretch. Second, the NBA has announced a brand new USA versus World format for the 2026 All-Star Games, and LeBron James is making steady progress in his return from injury. Joining me to break down the implications for the teams, players, and league is Moody from Delta State. Welcome to the show, Moody. It's always lovely to have you.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
Well done, well done. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Let's start with the Mavericks. The Mavericks, they fired Nico Harrison. What's your first take and your first reaction on that?
Well, no surprises there, I think because ever since that Luka trade last season, Nico was always on the hot seat because, if you're going to trade a guy like Luka, we just led your team to the NBA Finals the previous season. You have to make something work out. With the way the Dallas Mavericks were struggling this season, I understand the carries out and the activities, with injury. So you're always going to be on the hot seat if it didn't work, because you remember when that trade happened last season. A lot of us, a lot of people were like, who won that trade? Was it the Lakers? Was it the Dallas? That debate was going back and forth. But clearly, we've seen who won that trade. We look at averaging over 40 points a game this season, looking fitter and sharper, and Lakers are winning games. You could see, I'm sure the GM of the owner of Dallas Mavericks, he didn't just swallow that play. So Nico has to go. And not mind you, I think that was a really horrible trade. And Nico has a history of doing things like this. Because let's not forget, it was the same Nico that traded Jalen Brunson to the New York Knicks. And we'll now see what Jalen Brunson is doing in the New York Knicks and how they've been progressing. So I don't know why Nico makes those kind of trades, So we have a history of this. No shocks there about the owner of the team. I think they are letting go for that kind of advice.
But some people will say that this is a man that has won the Western Conference championship. He has been at the top of the conference. He has taken them to conference finals twice. He has taken them to the NBA finals once. And also, some would also say that he had a fair trade, trading Luka Doncic, and his tactic, as they always say, is defense wins games. In all his interviews, that's what he kept saying, defense wins games. And he felt like Luka Doncic was not playing enough defense, instead focused more on offense. But looking at it, he brought in Anthony Davis, and some people will also say that he also had the first pick, which brought in new players, and they've performed so well. But looking at it right now, at this point in time, don't you think that that they should have made this decision months ago, because it's 9 months after sending Luka away?
So I still, that's the thing about team ownership. I still think the owner of the Dallas Maverick, the governor of the Dallas Maverick, they have their own part to play here, because ultimately the decision rests on their hands, for them trading, for the green light for Luka to be traded. And like you said, yes, I would have thought they fired this guy, before the season started, and even part of last season. But they kept it up to now, and maybe they said, okay, let's have the wait and see approach and see how this new team builds up. But let me even go to the trade switch. The problem with Anthony Davis has always been his availability. He's a good player, good defensive stalwart, but is he going to be available? And he has never been available consistently. So when that trade happened, I failed to see how that was going to translate. And look at this season. Anthony Davis has missed 5 games already. So this is things I'm saying. Anthony Davis, yes, can ball. And if he's going to be available here, that team is going to be there.
And you also remember they have a Kyrie Irving who is, yes, he's one of the best ball handlers, one of the best point guards in the NBA, but he's also very, very mature, and his body shouldn't be going through the stress that is going through at the moment. And right now he's out on injuries. And we also, like you've mentioned, Anthony Davis, the problem with him has always been his availability. Talking about availability, This is a guy that came for his first team practice of the season, and he was obviously overweight. There were viral photos of him, and he came in overweight to the team practice and could not even practice. What does this say about the Mavericks team? What does this say about the ownership of the Mavericks team? Because everybody is blaming Nico Harrison as the manager, but everybody seems to forget that Nico Harrison is not the only one to take the blame for this. Instead, it's the entire management and ownership of the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, and that's what I said earlier, that yes, Nico Harrison has his part, but like I said, the Dallas Mavericks organization right now, I think they're not in a good spot. Ever since Mark Cuban left, I don't think as an organization they run the organization well. Like I said, Jalen Brunson just 3 years ago was traded by this same Dallas Mavericks organization and Nico Harrison. Look at Jalen Brunson, look at New York Knicks, and look at the progression there. Now we come to this, like we said, you don't let Luka go. The reason was that he was overweight. He was not. This is a young guy. This is a once in a lifetime talent that you just let go to bring Anthony Davis, who is in his 30s. No, come on. As an organization, I don't think the Dallas Mavericks are doing good business. Yes, the excuse was that we had the number one pick. But the number one pick, Cooper Flag, has not translated to what the potential we saw from his college year. So you see him struggling up and down. He's still trying to find his feet. I understand he's a rookie and all that. So it has not just translated, and I agree, the Dallas Mavericks as an organization, they are not doing themselves any favors, and it's not just really. I think Nico Harrison was actually the four guys who just assuage feelings for the fan base and the supporters of Dallas Mavericks. Let's
And
Nico Harrison photos.
Yes, but I'm talking about the fan base. We could see videos where the fans actually had a burial for the Dallas Mavericks after Luka Doncic left, and it seemed very, very funny. But if you were the manager of the Dallas Mavericks, what are you going to do differently? Taking notes that you don't have a healthy team. You have Kyrie Irving on injury. You have Anthony Davis, who is overweight right now and isn't playing. And you have a first round pick that it seems like everything is resting on his back at the moment. If you are the interim manager or the manager of the Dallas Mavericks, what will you do differently, and how will you handle the situation that you're going to meet on ground?
Yeah, the truth is that as much as we still blame Nico Harrison, and all that for the Dallas Mavericks sports that is season, some of them is not their fault. Like Kyrie being injured, Anthony Davis not being healthy and injured too. Well, the new manager has to work what he has, because they have some good pieces. We had the Gafford, we had this, so they still have some pieces. Okay, let's take it one step at a time. There's not much he could do apart from that. And just pray Anthony Davis comes back healthy and Kyrie comes back. I think the Dallas Mavericks will still, they will still get it right as the season progresses. But we just hope injury doesn't. This injury doesn't really delay. There's nothing much any new manager can do. You just try and shake up things a little bit, because they still have good pieces in that team, But they're just trying to. Then, yes, then the other part is what's his name? I think the Cooper Flag. They have to do some retinkering, because they made him their starting point guard, and so far so good. If you watch the game, the chemistry is not yet there, So he's still struggling to accept himself, what kind of role he will play. So those are still things. But I think ultimately going forward, I think Dallas Mavericks will be all right going forward.
Okay. Talking about Cooper Flag, he's a player that right now we can see his potential. We can see what he's capable of. We can see that he has had several breaks in different games. He has scored double digits time without number in the NBA as a rookie. And normally rookies, they usually just want to find their footing, but it seems like he has his foot through the door and he's playing well. But in one of the games, they created a play for him and actually expected that he was going to end up winning the game, and he ended up falling, and the opposing team ended up winning that game. Don't you think that he's not mature enough, he's not strong enough, and that the Dallas Mavericks should look for options Because it seems like they are focusing on Cooper Flag, Cooper Flag, Cooper Flag. Don't you think that they should look for options because they have other matured guys? Do not forget we have a player like Clay Thompson on the team who is starting off from the bench, and shooting has also been their problem as the Dallas as a team. So what do you think? I'm still asking as a manager. Don't you think that these are issues that they should look into? Issues like Clay Thompson starting from the bench and Cooper Flag being given a definite role and not being given the key all at once.
I agree with you totally, and that's what the other day I was saying so on this. I think because of the hype surrounding sorry, Cooper Flag. Because of the hype surrounding Cooper Flag and the whole trade, Nico Harrison, especially him, he wanted to make it look work, so in that desperation, they put all their chips on, and we injured to carry, so they had to put Cooper Flag, but they have to really, I think in this Cooper Flag situation, they have to revisit it, and because let's not forget, they have the generation on that team. That's an experienced point guard, he's had issues of inconsistency, but that's a veteran point guard that knows this system, he's been to play in high moments, and big teams and big players. So he understands things like this. I think he should take a step back from Cooper Flag. He has huge potential, he's still going to get there, but at this point now, I think he needs to revisit it. And then, like you said, Clay Thompson coming from the bench, and I think that's what has affected his confidence because Clay Thompson is having a very, very horrible season. Shooting the ball, he can't score, it's all everything that breaks. So I think we need to bring Clay Thompson back to the starting for five again and revisit this Cooper Flag thing. And promote guys like D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Williams, let those guys so Cooper Flags can actually learn from these guys and shadow watch these guys play. But this idea of you want to put Cooper Flag as the main guy now is not working. And you could see, look, that's why I said the Dallas Mavericks actually still has a good team. You have PJ Washington, Derek Lively, but this Cooper Flag thing is not gelling with these players, and you could see that chemistry is missing. So that's why I say you need to bring people like Brandon Williams back to start now. Ease Cooper Flag into this role you guys want to give him. And when Kyrie come and Anthony Davis come, when the team starts winning, confidence is high. He can catch his groove.
Okay. But some people will say that like Nico Harrison did with the likes of Giannis by giving him time to develop, and that is what he wanted to do with Cooper Flag, and he realized that he could not do that with the man in the Lakers that they had traded. But let's move forward to the next thing up in the NBA. It seems like the NBA, they've decided that we are not going to be doing the Western Eastern Conference All-Stars. Instead, we are going to be doing Team USA versus Team World All-Stars. Moody, what's your first take on this innovative move by the NBA?
Personally, I've been advocating for this for some time now. I think it is going to bring some more competitive favor into the game because there's going to be a lot at stake in terms of pride, the world versus USA. Because right now, so over the last 5-6 years, the best players in the NBA, if you look at the MVPs, they've all been international players, all international players. They've been the best players from what's the name? Sixers. Just the last one, they've all from SGA to Luka to Jokic to to Giannis. They've all been international players. So I think this might actually bring some competition and competitive favor and spirit into the game because what we've seen over in recent memory from the All-Star game, it's not competitive. Players not really putting their all. I don't know. That's why they try to trick it. Team LeBron, Team Curry, Team KD. They've tried all things and it's not working. And I think maybe this might work because there might be that element of pride, the world versus US. And I don't think the home-based players in the United States, they want to lose to their foreign counterparts because I think there's going to be a pride element in this, and I think this might solve the trick. We don't know, but I think this might solve the trick and bring some life into the All-Star game. I'm really excited about this.
Okay, but I think there's one thing to take note of, which is the fact that USA they are going to have 2 teams, and Team World is going to have 1 team. If we are going to share this, like if we are going to share these players into 2 teams, don't you feel that they might still have that playful attitude on the court? Because if there's one thing to take note, people have also been saying, like you rightly said, that we want competitiveness in the All-Star. That's why it's called the All-Star. Let's get the fire burning in the All-Star. It's All-Star week. We are going to have dunk contest, 3-point contest, other contests. So why don't we have a competitive basketball championship? And looking at it, don't you think that this will boost the competitiveness in the All-Star game?
Yeah, you see, and this is the thing I think the NBA sometimes do wrong. Look, this USA having 2 teams. As much as I like the USA versus the world, that part I'm not comfortable. Just have Team USA 1 team, to have Team World. You don't make the team, you don't make the team for Team USA. You understand? You don't make the team for Team World, you don't make it. Bring your 12. Yes, there are always going to be debate that they are supposed to be in the team, and that makes it more interesting because the people that make the team will want to show that when we end our All-Star slot here, we're supposed to be here. So there's going to be that pride element to it. So, but this time the All-Star game they did last year, where you had 3 teams, PC and LeBron didn't play. And rightfully LeBron should have played that nonsense. So now you started a good initiative. But just stick to it, This team USA having 2 teams you're still going to dilute it and water it down. Have your USA and the world, that's what the fans really want to see,
Yes. Another thing to take note of, sorry to cut you short, is that they've said, okay, this is what we're going to do is we're going to have 4 12-minute games as they described in the NBA release, and it's going to be round robin. And they said the goal is to increase the competitiveness and viewer engagement. The change replaces, like we've rightly said, the Eastern and Western Conference. So don't you think that this might also just be a thing for show and views? Maybe a thing for just to get the TV ratings up rather than competitiveness?
The NBA is the business. Yeah, no, the truth is the NBA is the business, and they're always doing things for views, TV ratings, and the revenue streams from this stuff. Yeah, so that's all. It's always factored in part of their plan, but in the bid for doing that, you don't want to, because you are doing all this for the All-Star game because in recent years it has lost its competitive edge. So, like I said, if you still want to bring the competitive edge back, still just stick with something that might be competitive, because this round robin stuff, because as a fan, we might have a fatigue of the All-Star game used to be easier to West. You used to look forward to just that one game. Who will win, East, West, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to see a mini tournament kind of thing, like they did last year, when they played one very short game. Let's see one game that Giannis, Jokic, SG versus KD, Corey. We want to see one game head to head. We want to see when Biyama go against King. This is what we want to see. This round robin thing. Pack your best. Let's see what we have. So I think this is where the NBA gets it wrong sometimes. In the bid for ratings, they model up things, and I hope they don't get it wrong with this one. But with the way they're already going on these 2 teams, USA round, I think there might still be some issues.
Okay.
But we want to get it right. I just think we should have.
Okay. So quick question. Give me your first 5 for the Team USA team, and your first 5 for the Team World team.
Well, so far so good. On the account of what we see so far, if I was going with Team USA, I'll go. Obviously, this guy is playing. I'll go with Corey. Corey has been playing very well. I go with LeBron will still make the team. KD is going to be there. I'll give Butler a shot. Then this other guy for. There's this other player that has been doing really, really nice.
Boston Celtics. Any player in Boston Celtics ring a bell?
No. This guy has not been consistent enough. Jaylen Brown, he's been having an up and down season. Okay, I think he might come to mind. But for the team one, man, there's just so much there. My first 5 will be Jokic, Wembanyama, SGA, this other guy. I called him. He won the MVP. What's his name?
Yeah,
The
Giannis.
guy from the Milwaukee. Giannis, yeah, So I think the team one is really bad. And Luka.
Luka Doncic.
So that's going to be my first five. Yeah, Luka Doncic. That's my first five. Wembanyama, Jokic, Luka Doncic,
SGA.
and again. Yeah, that's my first five for team one.
Okay. Fantastic.
And I think they're going to win team US.
Okay, so we shall see how that will be and how it will pan out moving forward for the All-Star games. Now, moving forward, some news made a headline, has been making headlines, which is LeBron James, who has been out on injury, and people are saying, why didn't you tell us that you had sciatica injury, and why have you been using your sciatica injury to play golf? How would that help that heal? Because you're stressing your back and stressing your nerves. But looking forward, the Lakers have said LeBron James will resume in November, and they've come out with a report recently saying that he will be having training with their G League team. Everybody's surprised. How do you train with the G League team to prepare to come back to the NBA proper? What is your take on that, Moody?
Okay, well, the thing is, I don't think LeBron had sciatica and didn't tell them, and I don't know if it was golf that caused it. Let's not forget, this man is going to be 41 he's going to be 41 in December 29th, so, and he's playing his 23rd season. That's a lot of mileage on the body, and at that level, so this is normal. So I think the Lakers are going to they are trying to be cautious with LeBron James. And LeBron James has someone that's always taking care of his body, understands his body. And then with the way the Lakers are playing, I think Lakers actually they are in a good spot. The role players are stepping up. And LeBron has saying, you know what, let me not rush it because when we think about LeBron team, we always think of about the playoffs, deep run. And LeBron is like, okay, this is the other part of the season is where he really needs that leadership and LeBron experience. And that's where you really need LeBron to be firing all cylinders and Luka and Reeves, So if the Lakers, like the way the Lakers started and they've been coasting and they've been comfortable, fine. And as for LeBron preparing with the G League, that's a good one. They want to seize him into the Lakers starting lineup, and I don't think that's a bad plan. There's nothing to it. The thing about LeBron, anything about him makes noise and all that. But I think the Lakers are just taking a cautious approach to make sure that when he comes back, he's healthy and he's going to be available for the last stretch of the season. I think that's the right, sensible, smart move to do. You don't want to rush him.
Okay. What some people will say that Michael Jordan would have never done this, that some big players would have never done this, and people are saying this is a man that we are saying that is the greatest of all time. Why move him to train with the G League team if you are saying that he's ready? But moving forward, you mentioned something which struck me. You said they need him for the last stretch of the season, maybe they need him for the last stretch, like you rightly said. But when he comes back, with the way the Lakers are playing, they are very comfortable. They are playing, in fact, they are not comfortable. They are playing well, very well, with players like Luka Doncic, who keeps dropping like amazing and mind-blowing points. Don't you think that, how do you think that they are going to manage LeBron James' minutes on the court and with blending him back to the team? Do you think he should start?
Yeah, obviously, okay, let me take one quick one. For the people saying Michael Jordan would have never done that, Michael Jordan never played 23 seasons, and Michael Jordan never played 23 seasons at this high level, so I can understand that the good James was good Jordan debate going on. Now, going forward, when LeBron James comes back, he has to start. This, I think we should not get carried away. This is regular season. The Lakers have barely played 15 games, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing the Lakers are actually finding their feet. Those role players, they are very comfortable. So when LeBron James comes, it's easy. And let's not get it. Winning a championship and having a deep playoff run is not winning regular season games. If it was that easy, Luka led a team in Dallas Maverick to the NBA Finals 2 years ago. If it was that easy then, Why didn't Luka win it? So you see, winning championship is not just no. You need LeBron James. This man has been. He went to 10 state finals. You know what I mean? 10 state finals. He has
Yes.
won 4 NBA championships. This man knows all about winning. He knows the moment. You know that's why playoffs and regular seasons are different. So when I hear this. How's LeBron going to fit in? No, LeBron is a very intelligent player. He will fit in. He knows what to do. He knows his role. LeBron never forces it anyway. If for a player that's a past first player, yes, he needs the ball in the hand, but let's not forget. Over the past few years, you could see LeBron has been intentionally trying to pass this baton, to another player so that he has a reduced role and impactful role. But because of Anthony Davis' injury and Anthony Davis didn't look like he needed that role, LeBron had to do a lot. Now, even with Luka doing what he's doing, I'm sure LeBron is in heaven, like, you know what, this is what I need. And when LeBron comes, he's going to start. This idea I've seen floated that he should come off the bench. They should seize anybody's basketball card that says that. LeBron comes off the bench. What do you mean? This guy, he made all second NBA team last season. If you remove the name LeBron James and you just looked at that player playing last season that came 5th, 6th in MVP voting, I don't know, you're like, who's this player? Well, I understand. After seeing sustained excellence for 23 years, there's a fatigue to it, you get used to it, like, you've seen this. So that's what's happening in basketball world. We've seen LeBron James at a sustained level for 23 years. So there's the LeBron fatigue, we have it, but let's not rush this man to retirement and force him to retirement. How many players came 6th last year in MVP voting? How many players had seasons like we had last season? So
even rookies, people that are 2 years in, 3 years in, that should have found their footing. He runs faster than a lot of them, jumps faster than a lot of them, scores higher points, gets more rebounds. His field goal percentage is higher than them, free throw percentage higher than them. So it seems like he's really the greatest of all time, or he should be in the.
Let me add one. Because of the other same age, you realize LeBron made 100% of his dunk attempts last season, and I think he went for like 97 dunks. 97 dunks, he didn't miss one. Every dunk he attempted, he made it in a game at 40 years and his 22nd season. So, look, I understand this is LeBron fatigue thing and still the Jordan thing, and maybe the Jordan fans are always saying that the longer Jordan, LeBron played, he adds to his legacy. But, I just think we should just try and enjoy this man's career. Look, you only get to play this sport once time in your lifetime. And when you are done, you are done, So let him play it. If he can play it and compete at this level, his level hasn't fallen off. So if you can play it and play it, and when he retires, it's a one-time career thing. I don't know why people are trying to rush this man to retirement.
Okay. You've said it all. Talking from the issue at the Mavericks, talking about the change of the All-Star game for the 2025-2026 season. You've spoken about the LeBron James issue and his injury issue and training with the G League team. And Moody, thank you for your brilliant context and sharp takes as usual. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to be with you another time.
Always a pleasure. And we're expecting you to be here live in our Abuja studio very soon.
Sure.
Okay, so today's 3 stories underline how quickly the NBA landscape can shift from front desk office shakeups to rules changes that affect the entire season, to players management that demand medical respect and strategic patience. Well, to our viewers, thanks for joining us on P&B Sports, and follow us on all social media platforms. On YouTube at Politics&BusinessTV.English, Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English, Instagram at Politics&BusinessTV_English, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Politics&PNBTV_ENG. We'll keep tracking these stories as they develop and bring you analysis you can count on. I'm Arakotom. See you tomorrow.